Hi everyone, it's Lynn from Devine Central. I am here with your May 2023 tarot readings. Now, if you're new to the channel and like what you see, please give it a thumbs up so others can find me. And if you like all things tarot, please consider subscribing because I'm putting up a variety of new things every week. At the end of this video, I am also going to show you a couple of new tarot practice tools that I have recently put up on my Etsy page. So stay tuned for that. All right, then, here we go. All right, Aries, we're going to start with you. Here will be the driving force of the month. This will be what led up to this point. We will have what will support you. This is what could possibly derail you. Isn't that interesting? And we will end with some guidance for the month. We're going to start with the Eight of Cups. This is kind of the overriding theme for this month. Now, we often get this card when we're ready to make a change. And it can be hard to come to that conclusion. It's just not in our nature. But when you look back at your past, like the relationships you've had, the homes that you've lived in, the jobs that you've had, well, they all kind of had an expiration date, didn't they? And when we've overstayed our welcome, well, that's when we get restless and we start buying into our weaknesses, like our guilt or depression or our self-doubt, whatever it is. You've already had some kind of a winds of change that's blown over you. And I think that you know that it's here and it's time. You've weighed the pros and cons and you kind of know what you have to do. It's not necessarily a bad thing either. I mean, sometimes our lives just simply run its course. Leaving something behind that's no longer working for you, well, it's not failure. It's actually progress. What led up to this point is the Four of Cups. Now, the Eight of Cups is just a punctuation at the end of how we got here. There's a sense of stability and security with the fours, but in this position, it's telling us that we just don't get the same enjoyment out of it as we used to. Now, we might still like our job, but we've come to the realization that we're not going to get promoted by staying here. And we might be, I don't know, we might have become kind of bored with some of our friends, but well, it's a lot easier to be with them than it is to have to go out and make new ones, right? The Four of Cups just lets us know that we're missing something that we previously enjoyed. And if we want to get back there, we're going to have to make an emotional shift to do it. What will support us this month is the Nine of Swords. Wow, doesn't sound very promising, does it? But consider this. The nine is a warning sign that we're either overthinking or overanalyzing or possibly over-dramatizing our situation, and it's causing us stress. It's a sign that we just need to lighten up. When we think about something, the universe wants to give it to us. It's called self-fulfilling prophecy. So it's time to give some thought to what we can control and what we can't, and then work on the things that we can. This card wakes you up to the fact that it's time to make a mental shift as well as an emotional one. So what could possibly derail us this month? We have the Queen of Pentacles. Now, you wouldn't think that the Queen of Pentacles could cause us any angst, but she fits in perfectly with this reading as a reminder that everything isn't about material matters and control and responsibility and practicality. When we fill our heads and our lives with all that stuff, we neglect our own emotional and spiritual well-being. So she reminds us that if we don't practice a little bit of self-care, if we don't move to the next realm when we need to, if we don't figure out how to get back into that happy place and how to de-stress, then we're never going to find that place of peace and contentment. So no time like the present, right? It's time to work on it. And the guidance for this month is the Ace of Swords. Well, here again, we're being reminded to make a logical assessment of the situation. Be honest with yourself. You already know that you need to make a few tweaks in your life, and that's not going to come without challenges. So why not just consider them in advance and be prepared with a plan to ensure that you're going to be a winner in the end? That's your reading this month, Aries. Have a great month. So before I sign off, I wanted to show you the two newest entries in my Etsy shop. Now, if you're like me, when you first started out, you were sitting by yourself and probably couldn't come up with enough questions to really put in a good practice. And this 600 questions for your tarot practice will do it for you. I have it designed in a format that you can literally cut up, bag, and put in a little, zippered bag or something to carry around with you, and you'll never run out of questions. And I've also put up a 3-card tarot practice workbook. Now, it's got 100 3-card spreads, 2 per page, with room for you to write your interpretations. Then you can go to the back of the booklet and find my interpretations, and it just gives you something to compare against your own. Very helpful when you're just getting started. See my Etsy shop for details. You can find the shop address below.